Hello everyone, this is Professor Robert Solis. Welcome to this video lesson. Okay, let's start working on strips of grass that have trees on them. Because you know how to play Crossy Road. The chicken has obstacles, and those obstacles can be trees, they can be bushes, they can be rocks, they can be the cars that are going to crash into it. So let's go ahead and work on that. Let me right click and then delete this. And let's see what I've got here in terms of trees. Here we go. So there's tree number 1. Let me select the model. I like that. That looks cool. And then let's see here. What does tree number 2 look like? Okay, that looks pretty cool. And what does tree number 3 look like? Tree number 3 is more like a bush, right? Okay, so let's see here. Let's go ahead and take tree number 1, which is this guy right here, and we'll work with that. All right, so the first thing I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to put a strip of grass, and then I'm also going to have to put the trees on top of that. So before I do this, let me go over here to my prefabs, and I notice that I already have a strip of grass. That's strip of grass version 1, and then I want to be able to put a tree on top of that. So let's just take this prefab, we'll drag and drop it over here. There's our prefab, right? We're going to have to create a new one so that it says like strip grass with tree version 1, say for example. But we'll worry about that later. And then we'll create a new prefab with that. All right, so I'm taking this so I don't have to reinvent the wheel. And now let's go over here to, let's see here, I think it's tree number 1. Yeah, there's tree number 1. Let me select the model. Yep, that looks pretty good. And what I'm going to do is first I'll just go ahead and place that right there on the hierarchy because I want to make sure that it's correctly positioned. Now I have the chicken there, and so that's good because I can see the relative size of the tree relative to the chicken. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not happy with the size of that tree. That looks like like a bonsai tree or something really small. I want this thing to be a little bit bigger. So what I'll do is I'll select the tree, and then I can scale it, or I can use the scaling tool over here, right? So I got this guy over here, scale, and then you have the red, the green, and the blue handle. And if you drag and drop the red handle, you see what happens. Let me undo. If you drag and drop the green handle, you see what happens. If you drag and drop the blue handle, you see what happens, right? Those are resizing tools. I can also go over here as well. And if I just hover on top of the letter X and drag and drop, on top of the letter Y and drag and drop, on top of the letter Z and drag and drop, you can also see the effect there. I can also type in the number. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in 2, tab, 2, tab, 2. All right, now I like that. That's a little bit better in terms of the size of the tree. So I think I'm going to go with this size right here. And what I want to do is I want to place, a tree definitely, far to the right and far to the left. And what these trees do is they act as barriers so that the chicken, can't keep on going to the left or can't keep on going to the right. Eventually, it's going to hit a barrier. So I think what I'll do is, first of all, let me go ahead and create a game object, a brand new game object, so that I can drag and drop this strip grass version 1 and the tree, and then I can start doing my duplication. So what I'll do is I'll go to Game Object, Create Empty, and now that I've done that, let me go ahead and make sure that I've reset this. Okay, good. So everything is reset. Now what I'll do is I'll just simply take that strip grass and drag it and drop on top of the Game Object, take the tree, drag it on top of Game Object as well. Okay, so now everything belongs to this Game Object. Let me take that tree, select that. I'm going to select the Move tool. I'll just simply move it over. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know how far to the right or how far to the left I'm going to place this thing. So, let me just guess right now. And when we take a look at the game, because when we're over here in the game, you can see what the camera looks like. I have not settled on whether or not this is in fact where this camera should be. Maybe the camera shouldn't be so close. Maybe it's supposed to be further back. So right now, I will just temporarily mess around with the tree by putting it, let's see, it looks like there's 1 division, 2, 3, 4, maybe like 5 divisions out, right? Something like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate it. So with the tree selected, as you see here, I'll go ahead and duplicate it, and then I'll do the same thing from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 divisions over there. And again, if for this particular camera view, I can see a little bit of this tree, but I can't see the other tree at all. And that's okay. And, later on, we can move this and make our adjustments. So I think what I want to do is I want to place another tree somewhere else, and then maybe like one more tree. But I don't want to be exactly symmetrical. So let me just take this tree and let me duplicate it. And we'll place this at 1, 2, 3 divisions away. And then I'll take that tree, duplicate it one more time. But so that's like 1, 2. So we'll make this one 1, 2, 3 away, something like that. Right? So it doesn't look so symmetrical. We call this asymmetrical. All right, I like it. I think everything looks pretty nice. Now, if you want to put another tree over here, if you want to put another tree over here, that's fine. Go ahead and put whatever you want, right, to your heart's content. All right, so now that I've got this down, I'm going to go ahead and click on the game object, and I'm going to click on the game object again, so now I can write down the name of this strip. So we're going to call this strip grass with tree VER version 1. Enter. Perfect. Okay, so this is going to become my prefab. So what I'll do is I'll go over here to the assets folder and I'll look for prefabs. There it is. And so now I'll take this guy, drag it and drop it, and that becomes my new prefab, strip grass with tree version 1. Perfect. Let me delete it from the hierarchy, and I want to test it. So I'll just simply take this, drag it and drop it. Perfect. Look at that. See, later on, when it comes to generating the code, we're going to want to place randomly a strip of grass with a tree, or a strip of grass with a rock, or just a strip of grass, and we've got 3 versions of those, or a type of road. Right? We're going to want to programmatically select one of these. So we want all of our different options, and that means going through this painstaking process first to make sure that everything is established, so that later on when we generate the code, it just simply calls one of these groups, right? One of these prefabs, and boom, just displays it. Okay? All right, so that takes care of this particular version of a strip of grass with a tree. Next video lesson, we're going to put another different tree and go from there. All right, so this is Professor Robert Solis. I hope this video lesson was helpful. Have a good day. See you next time.